Your first doubt, like BW and BI difference. So initially when it began, we were having the name BIW, Business Intelligence Warehouse. So after the second version was launched, it was still the same name, but when the third series 3.0A, 3.0B, 5, and the third series they were launching, they named it as BW, Business Warehouse, because at that time they had a license naming issue with BIW. Some other software was also using the Business Intelligence Warehouse name, so that's why they changed to BW. Then later on, around 2004, they came up with the one more version, 7. So when they were coming out with this version, at that time in the market, there are many other business intelligence tools like OBI, EEE, Informatica, Cognos. Just to say that this is also similar to that, no different to that. They changed from BW to business intelligence to keep it alongside the other tools. Okay, but they were saying that the advantage with this is you can do like with the other tools, you can do the activity, the ETL and other things with non-SAP systems, but with this tool you can do with non-SAP as well as SAP. So in that way they were projecting it as BI, but again they have come up with one more version, 7.3. Now they have reverted it back to BW. So finally they have now said that going forward in future they will always be calling it as BW.
So now, so we're going to call it BW then.
Yeah.
Right. So you're gonna like which server are you using? 7.3.
The server which we are currently having is the 7.3.
Okay. And what is this EI SAP EICO? What is that? Is it something? Or is it
BIBO you are saying?
EIBO, yes, that's what I meant.
Yeah. So we have one more tool that is called business objects.
That's a database, right? Or is it a tool?
It's just a reporting tool. Okay. So earlier this was called as BO. Now they are calling this as BI. So the BI name they are now using for this one. So anywhere you come across BI now, so that would mean business objects.
BI means business object.
So
BW.
yeah. So as you are aware of certain SAP module, like we have many SAP modules. SAP is nothing but ERP is nothing but enterprise resource planning. It's a computerized package wherein all the departments of your company you can computerize all the activities. SAP is one of the vendor. There are many vendors: Oracle, PeopleSoft, Siebel, but SAP is the best one because it covers all the departments. There are other vendors, but they don't cover all the departments. That's the reason SAP is popular. Now, all these departments, the software for each department, we are calling it as module. So we are having numerous modules. All these modules can be classified into finance, HR and logistics. So under finance you have many things. Account payable, account receivable, like that. So many other things are there. Similarly, under HR, travel management, payroll management. Under logistics, you have sales, material management. So many are sub modules are there. So all this share the same architecture called R3. Okay. So let us see what R3 means. R3 means real-time three-tier architecture. So you have three layers or three tiers. One is a database server, one is application and a presentation. Since all of them share the same architecture, they are collectively called as R3 modules. So just these things are collectively called as R3. There are other modules separately, like CRM, SRM. Those things we do not call R3. Those things we separately call them as SAP CRM or SAP SRM, like that. Now, the three layers we have to understand. Presentation layer is nothing but the screen. So, and application layer is nothing but where all the calculations or data manipulations will happen. Database layer is nothing but the place where all the data is getting stored. So basically what is happening is the company is replacing their old applications and using this one for maintaining transactions. So in order to maintain any transaction, you have to connect to the screen. So that is nothing but the presentation layer. For that you use this interface, logon pad, SAP NetWeaver. So GUI, graphical user interface. So using this interface, some connectivity and parameters will be mentioned. Okay, so you have to give the user server name, location, everything, and once it is created, you can just click on it and it takes you, and you can log in by giving the user ID and password. So this is how you connect to the presentation layer. So now people will be maintaining transactions over here. For example, you can take any purchasing. So this application R3 side mostly would be used by the business people because they are aware of all the functional things, like, so for example, if someone wants to create a purchase order, whenever we have to create, we have to fill in so many boxes: purchasing, organization, company code, item, material. So all these things we are not aware, but the functional side business people will be aware. So they will be using this to maintain all the entries. For example, So everything we are doing in the presentation layer now. So once the boxes, relevant boxes and fields are filled, we have to save it. So
Yeah.
once we save it, the application server is the one which processes this information and relevant data, it moves to the database. And within database, within database you have many tables. Okay, you can see over here. So once they click on save, they enter all the information, and once they click on save, it gets created in the database. Now we have separate tables for each application. You can go to the tables and view the data. Okay, so let me take you to a table. There are different navigations using which you can go to tables or any other place, or you can type the transaction codes. They are shortcut for navigation. So I am using SC11 to access the table.
SC11, SC16, SC38, what is the difference?
Yeah, SC11 is 11 and 16 is 11 is for tables and other things. You can see structures, views, domain and other things, but SC16 only for table output.
Okay.
Okay, if you see SC11, the purchasing information would fall into certain tables. I open one of the table. Now you can see over here, I can see all the fields. Then if I click over here, I can see the output. Now we know that this purchase order got created. You can give that purchase order number and check in the table. So likewise, if you don't want to see the fields directly, you want to see the output, you directly give SC16 EKKO. It takes you to the output screen without the fields. Just a shortcut.
Okay.
Depending on your requirement. If you want to see the fields, go to 16. If you just want to see output, if you want to see the fields, go to 11. If you just want to see output, 16. And 38 is for program. Any programs you want to run, run the report. Now, would you daily so many purchase orders are being created by the business people, so and the business users would like to see the purchase orders and take some operational decisions. So would you tell them to go to the table and check, or would you give them a report?
Well, we go give them a report.
Yeah, because it's very difficult for them to go to the table and check, and moreover in table so many fields are there. It's confusing for them which field they want So there are certain standard reports given over here. So in the standard reports, for example, under logistics, material management, purchasing, purchase order, reports, like this. You have some standard report, you give the details and execute. It pulls all the relevant informations from the tables and shows only whatever is required. Now these kind of reports are mainly for operational purpose. The business will just run these reports. They should give them quick output. Based on the output, they can take business decisions. For example, if someone is in the inventory team, they are running the report. Immediately they will see what is the stock level. If it is down, they will place an order for the stock. Okay, so they are mainly concerned with current information and operational purpose only. But over a period of time, when so much of data is being maintained, there is a management team also which needs to analyze all the information to take business decisions. So for that decision making also they were using the same reports. Now the problem is, whenever you are doing for business analysis, you will be analyzing 2 years or 3 years of data, so that would be huge data, and moreover the set of fields over here is static. You cannot change any things in rows and columns, or you cannot hide anything. Okay, for example, here in this report it is showing stock monitoring for vendor. Each vendor, he belongs to which location, how many materials to which plant, what is the material, how much quantity is distributing. Okay, so people might want to see different views: vendor, vendor name, location, vendor, material, plant. This is one of the things. Material, plant, quantity. So this is a just basic example, but there are numerous ways of analysis which the business users can do. So for all that analysis, if you see vendor, material, plant, vendor is there somewhere on the top line, material is over here, plant is over here. So it's difficult for them to do their analysis in this way. So these reports are static report. So that's the reason business were facing with the problem. So they have SAP has come up with BW. BW is mainly a reporting tool. Okay, so just to avoid these problems, give better analyzing freedom to the user, they have come up with BW. It's mainly a reporting tool. Now, just like R3 is having a presentation, application and database, even your BW will also have its own application and database and presentation layers. So it's a separate system by itself. So even though I have installed that, can I directly do reporting into that, or I need to pull data into it?
You need to create a data warehouse.
Correct. So all the data is there in the R3 site. I have to extract it into BW and build reports.
Yeah.
Extract data, build reports. It's very simple. Like if you, this we were talking about purchasing data. If you have sales data, what would you do? You would still do the same, right? Extract and build.
Yeah. Yeah.
So even sometimes you have data in some files also. So even those information business might want to analyze. So even that data you would extract into BW and build reports. So it's a common thing. Just extract and build reports. Okay, so let us see what exactly is happening. Analyzing last year's purchasing data in BW. So for this, even though reporting is my final goal, I have to pass through modeling, ETL, then only I can do the reporting. So these are the different steps you have to do for any scenario. You can write, you can take down as data flow in BW. So in modeling, we choose the source system. Okay, there are SAP, as I was saying, SAP BW can extract data from many source systems, whether it is an SAP or non-SAP. You can see it can extract from a file, from XML, from SAP, from directly from Oracle database also. So once you connect to the BW system, you log into the BW system. There is a basic transaction code RS-A1. This is the most widely used in BW. RS-A1. I type. It takes me to modeling. Here I have to go to source systems. From here all the source systems are listed. Whichever source system I am working with, I have to connect to that. In this case, the data is in R3, so the source system is SAP R3 in our example. So choose the source. So source is nothing but the relevant tables. So EKKO. No, you have to create the target in BW. So usually info cubes, these are the widely used target.
What are those?
Mostly you would come across in BW. That's I have written down, right? Create the target in BW info cube. So this is just a target name. So type of target you can say. So that you would be creating in the BW system. So this is what you do in modeling. You choose the source system, you choose the data source, then you create the target info cube. So all the big boxes are for modeling. So ETL, the name itself is split, extraction, transformation and loading. So would you be utilizing the data as it is, or business would do some modifications to the data format, data and other things, fields. Like for example, we have some material numbers,
There might be some
101. Yeah. So if it's an electronic showroom, they are maintaining some material numbers. So 101, 103, or product numbers you can say. There as a, yeah, in one more column you will be having product name. Samsung. LED. Here, sorry, LED. Now, what a business has to do? Similarly, these two columns will come into BW. So you have a separate column for product name and product number. They have to check into the product name to identify it belongs to which company. So what business is saying is, don't do like this. While loading itself, we want a prefix like SAM 101. SON 103. So while loading, only you load it in this manner, so that by seeing it we get an idea that it belongs to Samsung or Sony. Then later on we will see in the next column and find out the detail name. So this is just one of the example. You have price, you have quantity, but in PW side user wants revenue. So revenue can be achieved with price into quantity. So these are mostly what happens is the data is not used as it is. Some kind of changes or modifications, we call them as transformation, is happening to the data. So while loading itself, we are ensuring that it identifies and adds the prefix. So this is happening in the transformation. Similarly, the revenue derivation is happening in the transformation. Okay. So since some modifications are happening or involved, you will not be directly loading the data into the target. First, what we do is we load into a extract into temporary storage area called PSA, persistent staging area. So this is a temporary area. So whenever you first pull the data, you pull and keep it in this PSA. Okay, so in order to achieve this, execute info package. Okay, so you can just see over here, I choose the source system for example. Then I create data source. Once the data source is ready, data source will contain the set of fields, what all fields you are having or you are bringing. Then just right click, create info package. Once the info package is ready, just click on start. So this will connect to your source system and pull the data into the temporary storage PSA. Okay, so this is meant by extraction. Now transformation is nothing but linking source to target is transformation. Okay, so this linking you would link create transformation between source to target. Like that, you will give the source and target name, and you would establish a link. Because so many fields are there, you have field names in the source, you have field names in the target. So the system has to understand which field is going to where. For example, company code from source is going into this field, plant from is going into this field. So transformation is nothing but linking source and target. It involves mapping and also business logic. Okay, so whatever derivations and other things are there, that can also be achieved over here. So in some cases it would be pure mapping, in some cases it would be mapping as well as derivations, but this is mandated, the linking the source and target. So this is done by transformation. So once the link is established, the data is in your temporary storage, you have to send it to the target. So your ETL extraction is done, transformation is done, now loading. So for loading, we have small thing, DTP, data transfer process. Just like info package, it's a small thing. Create data transfer process. Once it is ready, just to click on execute. This will get the data from your temporary storage to your target. So
That's a permanent.
this, yeah, that's a permanent one. That's the final one, you can say. So once the data is there in your final target, you have to do the reporting. This is our main goal, reporting. So for reporting, you have to design the report. For designing report, you have query designer. So once you install this software, BW software, you get the query designer. Okay, so I have clicked on query designer. This is how it looks like. You have to choose your, so like user would have given you one basic requirement, that what kind of report he wants. Like this, he would have given you some report sample. So based on that report sample, you have to
Like, what would be the sample? What kind of sample it would be? Do you have any?
no, user is already using the R3 report. He would be aware of the shortcomings, what he is unable to, what he wants to analyze and what he is unable to do in R3 due to the other limitations. So he would straight away give that. For example, he says, I want sold to party information in the value as well as description, material only the description, and I want to see the orders and quantity. Now also I want to filter it by enable such a way that I can filter it country wise, and also I want to see data for a certain period only. So give me that option as well. So this kind of requirements you would be giving. What we would be doing is, since all the data and fields is there, you open your target. whatever user wanted, you drag and drop.
So, are you using any report writer or painter now, or is different than that?
It's not like that. It's, you can say it's similar to it, but it's not exactly the same.
Okay.
So it's query designer is just a design we are giving. So now, as per the user requirement, you have designed certain rows and columns. You can see the preview over here. Whatever he wants, you have given it. Okay, so certain extra, now the advantage with BW is whatever extra things are there which he wants for later analysis, you can put in this box.
Okay.
Okay, so all the extra fields I will be putting into this box. Only necessary fields I put over here. So when the output comes, only necessary fields output comes, but later on you can see the extra fields. Okay, so
Okay. So generally you can use it out.
yeah, so this is just a design. So once that is ready, you have Beck's analyzer. So using this, you can view the report output. So this analyzer is nothing but reporting tool. So it's just like an Excel sheet. So once you click that, an Excel sheet only opens. Into the Excel sheet, they have inserted it, or you can say configured it in such a way that now whatever query you have created, just prior to this in the query designer you would have created a query. So now you open the same query via this analyzer and it shows you all the data. It pulls the data from the info cube and shows you. Now the advantage compared to R3 reports is so many fields are there. User can drag and drop whatever fields he wants. He can choose which fields he wants. He can sort, he can filter. So many other functionalities can be done. So it's better suited for analysis. So that's the reason people are preferring this. So
how do you use the query?
How you
use the query?
Query designer we have just seen, right? You drag and drop whatever fields you want from the target and save it.
So it is not something like you have to enter the queries in database, right? It's different than that. Just
there is just drag and drop.
Okay.
No SQL code, nothing.
Oh yeah, that's what Okay.
So you just define the design. Once that is ready, you open it via the analyzer.
Okay. Gotcha.
So once you open it, it shows all the whatever data is there. Then later on, extra fields, whatever you kept, you can use them. So it's up to the user. They will be given some basic training. They can do all the changes and do the analysis. So this is, so your function as a BW consultant would be until the query designer.
Okay.
So you have to design it as per user requirement. You have to model ETL and design it. And using it would be the users.
Who extract the real info, right? They will do that. So if they face any problems, they will come to you.
Yeah, any data related issue, any mismatch or any corruption in data, like that. So this is what exactly is BW and the purpose of a BW consultant.